Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Wade Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. Recently, I did a video in which I showed off the last two cards that I needed to complete my 1978 Topps baseball set. So I thought I would do a video where I showed off the entire set, talk about the design, the players, why the set means so much to me, the condition that I was looking to put the set together. So if you grew up in the late 70s, watched baseball, or collected cards in the late 70s, maybe some of these players will bring back some memories for you. So let's go take a closer look at my 1978 Topps Baseball Complete Set. Okay, there are 726 cards in the set. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on each card, but just to give you a sense of the design, the players, maybe pause on some of the Hall of Fame cards or special cards that bring back memories to me. So the start of the 78 set starts off with some 77 record breaker cards. Here's card number 1, Lou Brock. You have a McCovey, Brooks Robinson, his last Topps card. It's not considered his last playing days card. That would be his 1977 card, but this is the last card, regular issue card that Brooks Robinson was featured in. There's Pete Rose. There's the Nolan Ryan and Reggie Jackson. And for those of you who don't or know or are not familiar with the 78 Topps set, this is the only set that Topps made with a sort of brown cardboard to it. And what this allowed me to do is, obviously, I was looking for well-centered cards, primarily on the front and back, sharp corners, and what the brown cardboard, let's see if I can bring this in here close, see if it'll focus, maybe it won't, but you can really tell, okay, if I can get the camera to focus here, maybe if I bring this up close here like this. There you go. So you can really tell with a background there whether the corners have any issues. And for most of these, so it wasn't only just the front of the card I was looking for, but the back as well. And I could tell from the back how sharp the corners were, or if there are any issues on the card. But as you can see, this is the general condition that I wanted. That's a fairly well-centered card. They're not, perfect 50-50. If I was looking for absolutely perfect cards, it would take me forever to put this set together. But just love the sort of the cursive font used for the team name, and the different colored line borders there along the edges. Mike Krukow, I remember him. Bobby Grich. There's the Pete Rose. So for those of you who are not familiar, who haven't watched previous videos of me talk about this set, the reason why this set, there's the Bump Wills Rookie Cup card. The reason why the 78 set is so special to me is because this is the first year that I started collecting cards. Buying packs of cards, I used to get 50 cents an allowance. Every Sunday, I'd get 50 cents from my dad for, doing stuff around the house and just to, just have fun and buy some stuff or whatever. And based on the cost of the packs of cards, I could either get one cello pack. I did buy occasional cello pack. I think those were 35 cents. And I think a regular pack of cards was maybe 20 cents. So with that 50 cents, I couldn't quite buy 3 packs of cards. And sometimes there's the Willie McCovey that I was having an issue with that I highlighted in some previous videos. Yeah, so I couldn't always get two packs and maybe some gum, or sometimes I didn't buy packs. Sometimes I got a comic book or whatever. Here's the Eddie Murray rookie. And, you know, over the year, I think I had maybe 400 or so cards. So I did buy a decent number of packs. In fact, since we're at this Eddie Murray rookie card, this is the one that I pulled as a kid from a pack. So it has really good centering, actually. But as you can tell, the corners definitely have some issues to them. Not sure why this isn't focusing. There we go. So yeah, the corners have some. They're dinged up. There's a little bit of maybe edge wear on some of these on the two sides. The back, the back isn't too bad, but you can tell the corner issues there. This may grade, I don't know, a PSA 3. It's pretty crease free. There is a little like an indent there in the top left corner. So again, maybe a PSA 3. I'm not going to send it in for grading, but this was the original card from when I was 6 years old and opened my first packs of baseball cards. So, of course, I have others from the set as well, but obviously this is the biggest card in the set. I did not have the Alan Trammell Paul Molitor. I didn't pull that one from a pack. So there's the back of this one. Obviously, this was the most expensive card that I bought for the set. I didn't do a calculation. I didn't keep a running total of exactly how much I spent putting this set together. But I figured that on average, the common cards, there's a Corey Yastrzemski. The common cards and semi-stars probably spent maybe 30 cents a card. And then, of course, the two big cards, the Eddie Murray rookie card and the Alan Trammell Paul Molitor rookie card, plus some of the key Hall of Famers in the set, the couple Nolan Ryans, the George Brett, the Corey Yastrzemski, Reggie Jackson, you know, cards like that. I figure I probably spent close to $400 putting this set together. Now, I just looked on eBay, and I probably could have bought a set maybe in EX, near mint, you know, somewhat, you know, decent condition set. Although what sellers list as an overall EX set would probably have a lot of off-centered cards, even though maybe the corners are sharp. There's a Mitchell Page rookie cup. All in all, yeah, like I said, I spent about $400 on it. I could probably have just bought a set for maybe $200 to $250, but I noticed that just today, as I'm doing this video here, someone paid $700 for a, I think the listing was extremely sharp, you know, high grade, completely raw. None of the cards were graded. Complete set. So if that one sold for $700 and I put $400 into this, maybe it was a fairly good investment. There's the Thurman Munson. Larvell Banks. Jim Barr. All right, now here's the first of one of the sort of a subset card, I guess, the manager card. And I love how they have an old picture of the manager and sort of like this postage stamp design there. And for those of us back in 1978, this was before the internet, before price guides. And now this one here, oh, no, I know what I'm looking for. This is something else. So this actually has the manager's playing career. So that's pretty cool to see. I was thinking of something else that I'll get to here in a minute once I get to the first card, and there it is. All right, so in addition to the manager cards, there are team checklist cards. Here's the one for the White Sox, and a lot of these team cards are really hard to find well-centered. That one is nearly perfect. But what's nice about the team cards is on the back, it has a checklist, and it shows the position and the player's uniform number, but it gives the card number of all the teams, in this case for the White Sox. So this is what we had to go off of. If we were collecting a certain team back in the day, this gave us an idea of which players on the team and the card numbers that we would look for to try to complete the team set. So these cards were actually, back in the day, very important, as later on when you got into the, the later 80s, you'd get a checklist or a team card in a pack, and it was considered junk because you had other avenues to let you know what cards were in the set and possibly which players were on a particular team that you could go after. So again, I'll keep this moving along here as fast as I can here. I don't want this video to go too long. Here's Andre Dawson's second year card, the Rookie Cup. Andy Hassler. Now here's, again, for someone back in the day, I believe there are 5 checklists in the set. So this is another way for you to tell what cards are in the set. So it's front and back. And all my checklists are unmarked. Dick Ruthin, I remember him. Steve Ontiverios. Pablo Torrealba. There we go. There's a Mariners. Ken Griffey. Giants team card. Kenta Colby. Loved the uniform there back in '78. Pillbox hat. He had the sort of the submarine sidearm pitching style, if I remember correctly. We'll have to know in the comments what, if you collected back in the day, what you remember about the '78 top set. What do you think about the '78 top set today? There's a Larry Boa. Bobby Cox, Hall of Fame manager. Jamie Quirk, I remember him. Orioles team card. Jim Esiason. Willie Hernandez. It's funny, you look at some of these cards and some of these players seem just really old when they're probably in their 20s. There's the George Brett. So my goal ultimately is to put these in a binder. I'm probably not going to do so yet until I get my basement finished and have room to put a whole bunch of sets in binders and have a place to store them. So for now, they're just going to go in a cardboard box for safekeeping. Bill Plummer. Joe Torre, Hall of Fame manager. Mike Tyson, not the Mike Tyson we're familiar with. Astros. Paul Blair. Tucker Ashford. Love the uniforms of the late 70s. Check out that Mariners hat there. John Montague. Denny Martinez. I believe he threw a perfect game, if I'm not mistaken. Gary Carter. There's Dennis Eckersley's card. Manny Trio. George Scott. Chet Lemon. Bill Russell. Burt Be Home, Bly Levin. Ron Guidry. Ted Sizemore. I remember him. And Raleigh Fingers, the other card that I had difficulty. The first one that came in the mail got damaged and all that stuff, and I did a mini rant video of buying cheap cards off of eBay and all that stuff, but was able to find a good replacement. Rupert Jones. John Montefusco. I don't, for some reason, I want to say he later became a coach or something. There's Keith Hernandez in his days before he went to the New York Mets. Rick Monday. I remember a lot of these players from back in the day. Doyle Alexander, Lee Mazzilli on the Mets, Andre Thornton, Bobby Bonds, Barry's dad, Milt Wilcox. There we go. Vaughn DeJesus. I remember him from being on the Phillies. Steve Stone. Check that hair cutout. That's and the necklace there. Just classic 70s. Cecil Cooper. Butch Hobson. He became a coach later on. Andy Messersmith. Pete Lecoq. There you go. Joaquin Andujar. Really good pitcher. Lou Piniella. There's the Jim Palmer. Bob Boone. Bill North. Just love the color combinations again with the color on the team name and what they chose for that colored border. There's a Renee Stinnett. This one was a hard one to find centered and without a lot of ink blotches. So that was the other thing I was looking for in the 78 set. If you're familiar with the 78 cards, you often get, especially down, for some reason, down near the player's name, you'd get ink blotches down there. Sometimes with these darker uniforms with black, it would extend over here in this area of the card. So I made sure that I tried to stay away from cards that had any of the ink blotches. So these are pretty clean there. Tim Foley, Reggie Smith, good player. Lou Brock, there's his card. Mike Hargrove, there's the Robin Yount. Look how young he looked there. All right, let's keep this going here. Again, I don't want this to take too long, but now that I have the set complete, I just enjoy looking through the cards. So many memories of opening these cards from packs. Dick Tidrow. There's the Dave Concepcion. That's a sweet looking card. Definitely a member of the Hall of Very Good. Doug Bird. Another checklist card. Ellis Valentine. Bob Stanley. Can't remember. I think it was Bob Stanley was he the one in the 86 World Series that threw the pass ball that tied the game in Game 6? I think it was Stanley. I could be wrong. There's the Tommy Lasorda. John Candelaria. Really good pitcher for the Pirates. Bob Baylor. Rookie Cup. Nino Espinosa. And here is probably what I consider one of the best looking cards from the 70s. The Reggie Jackson. That thing is just a thing of beauty overall. Rookie Cup. Great powerful swing there from Reggie. Just the color combination there. Really nice back on that too. Then another subset within the 78 top set is the batting, the leaders from the previous year. So we got Parker and Carew, Foster and Jim Rice for home run leaders, George Foster there. We got Frank Taveras and Eddie Patek for stolen base leader. He does not look like a stolen base leader. I'm sorry, but maybe he was maybe he was fast, but he doesn't instill speed when you look at him. I don't know about you, but anyway, here's a quad picture here with the two Hall of Famers, Steve Carlton and Jim Palmer. You got Nolan Ryan and Phil Niekro, a double Hall of Fame card there. John Candelaria and Frank Tanana for ERA leaders. And then the leading firemen, Raleigh Fingers and Bill Campbell. I remember when I was completing my Hall of Fame run, my graded Hall of Fame run, this was a hard card to find for whatever reason. I forget whether I managed to pick it up in a PSA 8 or 9. But that one was one of the harder ones for whatever reason for me to find. All right, let's keep this going here. Doc Ellis. Jose Cardinal. There's the Earl Weaver. Alan Bannister. Darrell Evans, great player. Mike Paxton. Now look at that airbrushing. I mean, it looks like his entire image there is airbrushed or artist drawing. I forget the background of this one. I think there's another card in here that's severely airbrushed as well. Mike Cubbage. Yeah, he was a manager, I believe. I forget who he managed for. Pedro Borbone. Chris Spear, Jerry Martin. Don Gillett, Joe Ferguson. That card reminds me of G's Mikey right there. What do you think? Yeah? I don't know if you're watching that, Mikey, but yeah, there's your doppelganger. Manny Moda. Leo Foster. The Mad Hungarian, I think was his nickname. Al Habrowski. So, almost halfway there. Again, for those of you who are sticking around, I appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoy the look here. Obviously, I've shown off, and many people show off the Hall of Fame cards from various sets, but there's Tim McCarver. Just gives you an idea of the players, the uniforms back in the day. Gene Tennis. Pete Vukovich, I remember him. Bob McClure. There's the Expos team card. Rick Burleson, All-Star. Larry Christensen, Frank White. Here's Greg Nettles. Mark, if you're watching this, here's the Greg Nettles for you. Steve Swisher. Jerry Royce. Joe Altobelli. Bert, is that? Yeah, Bert Campaneris. Remember him. Rudy May. This one here is a great image. There aren't really many action shots in 78 Topps. It's a lot of pose, but check this one out for Doug Alt. Rookie Cup. Standing at the plate there. Not sure. Could that be Thurman Munson maybe? I don't know. I can't remember what uniform he wore, but it almost looks like a Yankees uniform. Anyway, interesting. Could be because American League, but interesting. I just noticed that. Let's see. There's the Carlton. Oh, I love that Carlton Fisk card. Love it. Ford. Again, those Mariners uniforms. Wow. Buddy Bell. Omar Moreno. Remember him. Steve Yeager. Look at the sideburns, the glasses. Ben Ogilvy. Remember him as well. Another checklist. Willie Horton. Larry Parrish. Bill Lee. Spaceman. Biff Pocoroba. Now there's a name for you. Biff Pocoroba. Tony Armas. Brady Herzog. There's the Joe Morgan. Buddy Schultz. Now, most of the team cards feature just a picture of the team, in various rows. But for whatever reason, here's the Cubs team set. They just decided to use little, individual images for the players. Not sure why they did that. Maybe for whatever reason, there's just never a team picture taken to use on the card. I'm not sure if there are any other teams beside the Cubs. We'll see when we get through the other teams, but this may be the only one that, for whatever reason, isn't a team photo for the checklist. On Milner, there's the Joe Niekro, Jim Rooker, Cliff Johnson. That sort of reminds me from Major League, whatever his name is, Joe Boo and stuff. He sort of looks like him. There's the Don Sutton. Greg Minton, there's the other one. That thing is severely airbrushed. I think they even drew the glasses on him, it almost looks like. But let's see here. Let's get through. There's Dave Johnson. That would go on to be the manager of the 86 World Series champions New York Mets. Alan Ashby, remember him? There's Freddie Lynn. Jim Fregosi, future manager there. Bruce Sutter. Bob Watson. All right, almost at the halfway mark here. Just a few more cards and we'll get into the next row. We got Jim Todd on Stirs, Bucky Dent. Effing Bucky Dent for Red Sox fans. Bake McBride, I remember him. Mike Flanagan, really good pitcher. Louis Tiant. Not Taint, Tiant. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Del Unser. And there's the Steve Garvey. All right, let's get to the next row of cards here. Forgive my arm. Either that or bump into the microphone here. So Jeff Torborg, Doug Bear, Cesar Geronimo. There's the Schmidt. Ed Figueroa. Rick Dempsey. Remember him. Rusty Staub. Jim Willoughby. There's Tommy John. A lot of people thought he was going to maybe get into the Hall of Fame this year. There's, oh, come on, camera. There we go. Skip Lockwood, Ted Simmons. Check out that smile there. That's a cool looking card. Mario Mendoza. You ever heard of the Mendoza line for batting average? Here's the back of his card. Look at his stats there. 1974, batted 221, then 180, 185, and 198. So for those 4 years, he batted 202. So the famous Mendoza line is batting 200 or under. So there's a Jack Clark. Tito Fuentes. And Holtzman. Oscar Gamble, I remember him. Tippy Martinez. Love some of these names. Bob Stinson. Come on, camera. Don't know what's going on here. Greg Gross. There we go. I think I may be going too fast for the camera going through some of these cards. But, all All right, let's see. The next one here, there's the Nolan Ryan. Great looking card. Another Hall of Fame manager coming up here. We have the Sparky Anderson. Bud Harrelson, bench coach, I think, or maybe even pitching coach for the Mets around the mid 80s, mid to late 80s, I think. Odell Jones. Bill Madlock. Definitely Hall of Very Good worthy. Won a few batting championships, I believe. And here's another subset, couple cards highlighting the World Series and playoffs. So there's the AL championships and the NL championships. Dodgers overpower Phillies in 4. And then we get into the World Series. There's the Reggie Jackson. And that's actually it for the World Series. So just 3 cards featuring the American League and National League championships and then the World Series. Ray Fosse. Greg Luzinski. I remember him. Steve Rogers. Mario Soto. Joe Youngblood. Al Oliver, another great player. Mike Norris. Oop, I knew that I was going to do it at some point. All right, let's get these back in order here. Obviously, I have these all in top loaders so I can protect them. And there I go, almost dropping them. There we go. Dave Lopes. Tug McGraw. There you go. All right, let's keep this moving here. Leroy Stanton. There's the Tom Seaver. Barry Mumphrey. Dave LaRoche. Charlie Spikes. Now there's a baseball name. Charlie Spikes. Jim Hunter. Al McRae. Dennis Blair. I remember him. Rick Cerrone. I believe he later played for the Yankees, didn't he? Come on. Let's focus. There we go. J.R. Richard. Really good pitcher. Roy Smalley. I remember him. Ron Reed. Bill Buckner. Unfortunately took the rap for the 86 World Series. A lot of people forget, though, that when he let the ball go through his legs, the game had already been tied. So even if he had picked it up cleanly, it would have gone into extra innings, and who knows, Mets still may have won. But I think finally the Red Sox fans finally sort of forgave him for that 86 World Series. I know he carried that burden for a long time. There's Gary Matthews, Jerry Remy, announcer for the Red Sox. I know he had cancer and stuff. I'm not sure if he recently passed away or not. I know he was battling cancer. I think this is the same Jerry Remy. I could be wrong. May not be the same Jerry Remy, but I believe he was a long time broadcaster for the Red Sox on either TV and or radio. Cardinals team set there. Ron LaFleur. Rick Miller. Ken Maka. I want to say he was a coach at some point. I could be wrong. Chris Chambliss, remember him. Amos Otis. You know, a lot of players that, never became Hall of Famers, but, again, from, being around this time period, you remember some of these players and, how good they were, even if it was for just a couple years here and there. Jim Sundberg. Dave Cash. Joe Sambito. There you go. Love the Astros uniform. George Foster. All-Star Shield. That's a nice looking card. Dave Roberts. Billy Crawford. Johnny Oates. I remember him. Yeah, okay. Yeah. There's the Willie Stargell. Frank Duffy. Larry Foote. Or Barry Foote, sorry. All right. Keep this going. There is a Boggs in the 1978 top set. Not Wade Boggs, Tommy Boggs. And I do not believe there's any relation between Tommy and Wade. I don't believe so. But occasionally I'll do a search for Boggs and you'll see Tommy show up. Brian Downing, Larry Hissel, Donnie Moore, Bernie Carbo. I remember Bernie. Rob Piccolo. No, Picciolo. I think maybe that's more how you pronounce it. There's the Dave Winfield. This one was hard as well, with his helmet there and his uniform. You'll see a lot of the black ink smudging along the San Diego, along his sleeve there, and even along near his bat. There were a lot of cards I had to look through that did not have any of that ink blotching to it. That one's fairly prevalent for the Dave Winfield card. Sandy Alomar, Sr. Wilbur Howard. Bruce Bochy. Johnny LeMaster. There's the Steve Carlton. John Mayberry. And Butch Weiniger. All right, we're getting there. Appreciate all of you if you're still watching. Paul Mitchell. There's the Dave Parker, newly elected Hall of Famer. I need to get his graded card now because now I'm one Hall of Fame graded Hall of Famer short now, so I need to find at least a PSA 8 for my Hall of Fame run. So looking for that one. Hopefully prices will come down. Dave Rader. Jerry Kuzman. Underrated pitcher for the Mets. Dick Drago. There's a Dave Kingman. Buck Martinez. Buck Martinez. Didn't he become an announcer at one point for baseball? I think. Let me know in the comments if I have that right or not. There's the Bob Lemon, Hall of Fame manager, player. Pat Dobson. again, a lot of these players I remember from later on, maybe past their playing days. There's the Rod Carew. And I think, some of them went on to manage, maybe not fully manage, but be a bench coach, pitching coach, hitting coach, that type of thing after their playing days career was done. Bob Nepper. I remember Bob Nepper. Bobby Mercer, Annette, Yankees announcer, I believe. Here's another one that I think was either a pitching coach or at least a bench coach for the Mets in the 80s, I'm pretty sure. Bob Apodaca. I want to say pitching coach. He was a pitcher. So I'm pretty sure he was a Mets pitching coach at one point. Dave Skaggs. Cisco Lescano. I don't know if he played for the Phillies or not. I could be wrong. Frank Tanana, good pitcher. So, like I said, hopefully some of these players, ring a bell with you, old-time collectors like myself. Remember some of these players, maybe they played for your favorite team. Gary Maddox, Ken Henderson, Clay Carroll. See if I can get this refocused again. There we go. Thad Bosley. For some reason, I remember this card specifically. For some reason, there's a Willie Randolph. Not too many more to go here. Craig Swan. Champ Summers. Gary Alexander. Jose Cruz. Ron Say. Now there's an interesting Roland Office for the Braves. Roland Office. Len Barker. Jim Bibby. Duffy Dyer. There we go. Man, some of these names. Paul Splittorf. Lee May. Denny Doyle. Mike Torres. Jim Auerbach. I wonder if he was related to the Auerbach from Celtics fame. I don't know. I don't think it has. A lot of these don't really have. By the way, in the back there is a. No, they aren't. There's some game that you can play. I don't know if it was explained on wrappers on how you play the game, but each card had a different outcome. So there's a foul out, and this one here is a single. But this doesn't say anything about him related to the Auerbachs of the Celtics fame, I believe. Moose Haas, Cesar Cedeno. Another, I think, is the final checklist. Ron Hodges. Pepe Frias. Bombo Rivera. Manny Sanguian. Grant Jackson. Fred Stanley. Dennis Leonard. Dusty Baker. There we go. Probably a future Hall of Famer from being a manager. There's the Jim Rice. Man, check out the sort of like the lapels or whatever, the collars there on the White Sox uniform. Man. Ray Knight. Remember the 86 World Championship New York Mets. I think he hit a home run in Game 7 to put the game away. Of course, scored the winning run in Game 6. Vita Blue. Ken Brett, George Brett's brother. All right, I promise we are really, really close to wrapping this up here. We have Mike Champion there. Gaylord Perry. Julio Cruz. Mickey Rivers. Lamar Johnson. Elias Sosa, I remember him. There's the Dwight Evans. Love that card as well. Love the little patch on his sleeve there. The old red and like dark blue helmets that they wore in the late 70s. Here's the Johnny Bench. As you can see, most of these are pretty well centered. And then we finish, not completely finish the set, but then we get into some of the rookie pitchers. Here's one with, if it focuses, yeah, Tom Hume in the top left there. I remember him. And this is where we get into the couple of the Hall of Famers. This is the last stack of cards here. I don't think anyone really famous there or noteworthy. There we have the Jack Morris rookie card. Lou Whitaker. And here is the Alan Trammell, Paul Molitor. Really hard to find centered. And without, I mean, the main thing, though, is down at the rookie shortstops, you'll get black or even like a pinkish, orangish just streak right across rookie shortstops. So I finally found one that was nice and clean. There's Dale Murphy, even though technically his 77 is his rookie card. Bo Diaz, I remember Bo Diaz. Lance Parrish. Not Mike Easler. There you go. No one from there that I recall. And then there's Bobby Valentine. Infamous getting thrown out from a game as a Mets manager and then putting on a sort of glasses and fake mustache and trying to get back into the clubhouse, and the umps caught him. He was a character. Mike Anderson. There's the Jim Cott. I think that's it for the Hall of Famers. Ron Jackson. Randy Elliott. Oh, no, I was wrong. There's Fergie Jenkins. Billy Martin. Manager card. Johnny Walkenfuss. There you go. There's a name. Kurt Bavacqua. Kurt Bavacqua. There you go. And then the final card in the set, Wilbur Wood. So there you go. Sorry this is taking probably 40 some minutes here. Apologize for the length, but again, I wanted to go through the set because it means so much to me. So excited that I finally was able to complete the set. I hope you enjoyed the run through the players. Again, hopefully it brings back some memories of some of these great players of the day, maybe not Hall of Famers, but great players, uniforms, the card design, the fact this is the only set that has a brown cardboard backing to it. And with that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.